gray shoes. This arcuate's painted.
Because they conserved copper during World War II.
That's why there's no rivets?
That's why no rivets. How do you not know that? This is original Big E red line salvage, all right, from 1944. You can get $12.50 for that on eBay tonight. Plus the 1955 blanket line Type 3.
Pleated?
Pleated.
Boom.
Boom! This is Denim, the channel where we explore the Levi's vintage clothing collection, Levi's history, and denim culture around the world. And today, we are talking about the clothing from the FX show, The Bear. A quick shout out to my Patreon peeps, you guys are the best. Evan Gutierrez, my man. You can get in all the action and view extra content and early video releases commercial free for just $1 a month. Being a subscriber always helps. Now on with the show. This is Carmi. He is a talented artist of a chef who quit his fancy job to take over his deceased brother's sandwich shop. He's frustrated, tattooed, and a total denim head. As far as interest in the show, I binged the whole season in a couple days. I love the visual look of the show. It has a nice aesthetic. With 15 years of restaurant experience, I can relate to a lot of it. In The Bear, Carmi is trying to turn a slumming Sando shop into a fine dining French brigade. While you feel and relate to Carmi, I think there's other characters like Sydney and Marcus, who are prodigies in their own right, but a lack of experience, financial limitations, and a fear of failure keep them from having their own businesses. There's a lot of unnecessary screaming, but I otherwise dig the show and I'm excited for season 2. Click ahead to miss a spoiler, but I thought the season 1 finale is just a little unrealistic to some people going through these problems. It became a fantasy show. I hope they'll kind of retract that and make more problems going on, and that's usually what they do. We have 2 items to discuss from this scene, and they're both Levi's items I've covered on the show before. First is the jeans.
This arcuate's painted.
Because they conserved copper during World War II.
That's why there's no rivets?
That's why no rivets.
The arcuate is painted and there's no rivets. Okay, he's talking about Levi's 501 jeans from 1943 to 1946, also known as S501s. This was a pivotal moment for the evolution of the 501 jean. Before World War II, Levi's 501s had a cowboy western look. After the war, they were the modern jeans that we know today. During the war years, the company had to make some changes due to rationing. Way back in 1873, Levi's made their first symbol on the XX jeans. They stitched 2 arches on the back pocket. This is arcuate. It was hand-stitched by single needle before the war and double-stitched by a machine afterwards. During the war, the US government said the arcuate wasn't an essential feature to the garment, so it was considered a waste of thread. Levi's quickly took action and decided to paint the arcuate on instead. This painted arcuate would wear off within a few years. The fact that he has a 90-year-old pair of jeans where someone could see that the arcuate is painted at a glance means that they're in great condition. No rivets! Levi's was the first company to put rivets on pants. You can see the patent date for this invention of riveted fasteners on garments, May 20, 1873. And fans celebrate this year as 501 Day. Rivets were used to hold the pockets on because it had points of strain. There was also a rivet in the center of the crotch of the 501s until 1941. A modern pair of 501 jeans have 6 rivets on the 3 front pockets of the jeans. Before 1966, rivets were also holding up the back pockets. During the war years, Levi's scrapped the rivets on the small watch pocket to save on copper. Copper was used for bullets. Even the pennies from those years were made of steel instead. A pair of 1944 Levi's 501s would have a total of 8 rivets, only missing the 2 from the watch pocket. Conclusion? He's talking about Levi's 501 jeans from the mid-1940s. You can get yourself a recreation pair from Levi's Vintage Clothing. Look for the 1944 S501 XX jeans. Some of them have really cool pocket bags. Mine have pink jellyfish. Historically, they would have used whatever extra fabric scraps they had, including denim pockets.
Plus a 1955 blanket line Type 3.
Pleated?
Pleated.
A 1955 blanket line Type 3? Pleated? Not a thing. Not a thing. But maybe they should hire me as the denim consultant. Then they could be my friends and try my delicious gourmet cookies. Available in Poland from cheskomania.com. DM us on Facebook or Instagram for shipping within Europe. Now back to the jacket. Levi's denim jackets have been around since the 1870s. The triple pleat blouse and the sack coat were the 19th century denim jackets. The Type 1 was from 1906 until 1950. It had a single pocket and double pleats running vertically down the front. From 1953 until the early 1960s, the jacket they sold was referred to as the Type 2 and looked similar to the Type 1, but had two pockets. The Type 3 wasn't released until 1961. The Type 3 is denoted by its two pairs of V-shaped lines running down the front. It's the absolute most iconic denim jacket ever, and still a huge seller from Levi's today. All the Levi's jackets featured a blanket-lined version. It used to be made of a wool-cotton blend. Then in the 1950s, they added some rayon and never looked back. Conclusion? This can't be a Type 3 jacket if it's from 1955 and pleated. It must be a Type 2 jacket. This was famously worn by Martin Sheen in the Badlands. Now, you won't be able to do that jacket flip move as smoothly with the blanket lined. The Type 2 jacket has the lot number 507XX. The blanket line lot number was 519XX. You can buy a 1953 Type 2 507XX recreation from Levi's Vintage. There's also a jet black one with blanket line that came out in 2021. Carmi never wears the jeans or jacket in the show. In fact, there's no other denim talk for the rest of the season. What he does wear are the greatest plain white tees of all time. The Meeresviesvanen loop wheeled. Now he's wearing a 215. This is a double thread, pure classic white t-shirt. And that loop wheel means there's no seam on the sides. It's like wearing a tube. I have the 1950s Marlon Brando-esque single thread version, and it feels like vintage silk. I adore their Henleys, and I will be doing an episode all about Meeresviesvanen very soon. Another featured item worn by Carmi is the wool jacket. This is from a Danish company, NN07, with their Gale 8267 men's jacket. The website currently offers it in a different color tone. If you have the orange one from the show, then the price just shot up. This company seems okay, but a warning, their stuff is made in Turkey. I've put links in the description to the episodes about these Levi's items. I hope to see more nerdy denim talk in other shows and future episodes of The Bear. I am Den. This has been Den and Denim. Thanks for watching, and love your jeans.